Invite Attorney Jeff Swope to step up to the podium.
Good evening.
Good evening,
my
sir.
name is Jeff Swope. I'm a member of the firm of Edwards Angel Palmer and Dodge, formerly Palmer and Dodge. I was advised that some questions were asked at a recent meeting regarding the town's purchase of the assets of the Barnstable Water Company in 2005. I represented the town in that matter, so I've been asked to provide that information. Some of you I recognize were members of the town council during the period that I'm going to be describing, so you'll have heard some of this before. But for those of you who've not, I've got a brief, I'll try to make it very brief, presentation. What I'd like to cover tonight is why I was retained to represent the town in this matter, what process was permitted by the law for the town to purchase the assets of the Barnstable Water Company, the history of the town's decision to make that purchase, and to answer the specific questions that were raised at a meeting last month, I'm informed. Why I was retained, first point. I was retained in 2001 to advise the town initially about the feasibility of purchasing the assets of the Barnstable Water Company. I had represented several municipalities in the past with successful purchases of private water companies. I took two cases to the state Supreme Court for the towns of Southbridge and Edgartown that resulted in victories for the town on those matters. And I'd been retained in the 1990s by the Hyannis Fire District to advise about its possible purchase of the assets of the Barnstable Water Company because, like the town, it had a statutory right to purchase. So I think, speaking somewhat immodestly, in 2001 I probably had as much experience about purchasing private water companies as anyone. I can't brag about that experience because, of course, it's a diminishing asset. More and more of these private water companies are disappearing. So the process, but now I would like to talk about the second issue, which is the process by which towns and town of Barnstable could acquire private water companies. The whole concept of private water companies developed in the second half of the 19th century, beginning of the 20th century, really as a public health effort to try to improve the safety and cleanliness of water supplies for the public. Private water companies were initially organized by leading town citizens, at that point always called town fathers, but called Barlaco, which stood for Barnstable Land Company, to avoid, we thought, the ability of the town or the Hyannis Fire District to purchase that excess land. And we analyzed the ability of the town to recapture the Barlaco land as well. After that September 2001 meeting, we received authorization to proceed. At that point, there was contact with the Barnstable Water Company to advise them of that vote of the town council and to ask for their cooperation in opening their books to conduct an examination of the company and to do a due diligence examination of the state of their plant. We hired experts in water company maintenance and in accounting to advise us and the town about that due diligence operation. Those investigations were reported back to the town council at meetings that I and others appeared at in September 2002, October 2003, and as we came closer to the conclusion of our report in February and March of 2004. The result was that on April 22nd of 2004, the town council voted with a vote of 10-1 to exercise its statutory option to purchase the Barnstable Water Company and the property of Barlaco. In June of 2005, we were asked by the town to represent it in that 10 taxpayer suit. We moved to dismiss that action and had an argument on that motion, and it was the decision of the court in late December 2005 upheld the position of the town, and the 10 taxpayer suit was dismissed. They appealed that action in January of 2006, but took no action on the appeal, and by agreement, the appeal was dismissed in June of 2007, and the decision of the Superior Court therefore remained. The three questions that I understood were asked at an earlier meeting, which you will now understand, I think, with that context, how my answers relate to them. The first, as I understand it, was why the town did not pursue the favorable actual cost measure for payment by going to the Department of Public Utilities, which is an option under the town's charter, the Barnstable Water Company's charter, Chapter 286, which provides that if the costs are disputed, you go to the Department of Public Utilities. As I said, the town was prepared to do that. It offered instead to negotiate with the Barnstable Water Company if it chose to. Agree. The Barnstable Water Company did agree. All of the negotiations were on the basis of that same actual cost measure and how it would